Here's a darn satisfying brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Home fries with a bunch of peppers and an over-easy egg. This recipe is so fast and efficient that I had to set up multiple cameras because I won't have time to reset for every shot. It goes that fast. First thing is to get the potato parboiling. I've tried this with tons of potatoes. A russet comes out on top every time. That's a floury variety. This big one will feed at least 2 people, and I'm not peeling it. The skins are quite tasty when you fry them up crisp, as we shall. Home fries are traditionally cuboid, not long bars, and you could do bigger chunks than these, but smaller ones cook faster, and I'm all about speed today. Drop them in some water. Boiling home fries before you fry them makes them cook way faster. The outsides come out crispier, the insides fluffier. Heat on high, and a common trick is to put a little vinegar in the water, just a touch. This slows the breakdown of pectin in the potatoes and helps them hold their shape when you fry them later. While we wait, we can slice our vegetables. Love peppers with home fries, and I've been loving this trick where you hold the bell pepper by its stem and fillet it like a fish. Ooh, this one had some baby peppers inside. You monster! Then you can just mow each of these segments into thin slices, and you get these really pretty little pieces that cook really fast, and they're really easy to eat on the plate. Speaking of fast, green onions, the most convenient form of onion, ? All I'm doing is rinsing them and peeling off any outer layers that seem dry and tattered or decayed and slimy. Take it over here, trim off the roots, then I'll cut the whites into big chunks that seem like they'll cook in the same time as my pepper slices. Once I get up into the greens, I'll set those aside for later. Oh, one more pepper, a serrano. Thin slices with the ribs intact, just for a little heat. If you don't want it spicy, don't do this. Potatoes are boiling now. If you put in a ton of vinegar in the water, the trick works a little too well. They take forever to cook. Just a splash works fine. This meal is possible in a well-seasoned cast iron, but I keep a nonstick around exactly for a day like today. Heat on high, yeah, that's fine with Teflon as long as you have a lot of food in the pan to absorb the energy and keep the coating from overheating and sending off dangerous gas. Just a touch of olive oil. All 3 stages of this meal will involve fat in the pan. If you don't watch the oil quantity, you'll end up with a pretty greasy plate at the end. I'll hit these with salt and pepper, not because they have to be seasoned in isolation from the potatoes, but mostly just so I can visually keep track of how much salt total I need to put in the dish, and a splash of vinegar. This gives the final plate a needed hit of acidity, and I wonder if it keeps the veggies a little crisper. When they just have a little color on them and they're just starting to soften, like 2 minutes in there, I'll turn the heat off and stow those on a plate. They'll keep softening as they sit. You can fry the veg with the potatoes, but it's way easier to control if you do them one at a time. Plus, we were just sitting here anyway, waiting for the potatoes to soften, which they have. I can just barely pierce them with a fork, that's enough. Drain them. I usually do this through the pot lid to save on dishes. Back over here in our pan, I'll turn the heat on medium-high, some more olive oil, and a little butter. Not because this lowers the smoke point of the butter. I'm pretty sure that's crazy talk. It's just that the butter plus olive oil tastes good. Also, if the butter does burn, there'll be less of it. I'll hit these with a bunch of salt so the salt can really fry into the crust. And then I'll just let these sit. If you let the first side brown really rigid, it provides structural support to the rest of the piece as you stir things around later. While we wait, we can do a home try-on from the sponsor of this video, Warby Parker. They provide awesome vision care online and in stores. Eye exams, contacts, whatever. And glasses start at just $95, including the prescription lenses. You go online and you can filter by type. I have a big dumb face, I need wide frames. Pick 5 and they send you 5 to try on for free. They have prescription sunglasses too. Good lord, I'm such a dad. The great thing is you can try stuff that's completely insane in the privacy of your home. I think these are the winner right here. Do a try on yourself. There's no obligation to buy. Even the shipping is free. And they send you a prepaid return label. You slap it on and throw the box in the mail. You're done. Do us both a favor and use my link in the description. Try 5 pairs at home for free at warbyparker.com/Ragusia. Thanks, Warby Parker. Now, give these a stir, and you can see why pro brunch cooks love to put a ton of acid in the boil water. I'm having to be kind of ginger with my spoon, but you put a lot of vinegar in the water, and the pieces will be hard, which has got to be great when you're flipping a giant pile of home fries on a flat-top griddle. You can be brutal with them. I can afford afford to give these a little more love and affection since I have nothing else to do right now, and the bits that get mashed up like that are the ones that are going to go super crisp if you give them enough oil to fry in. If you want to use all butter for the flavor, I'd recommend using clarified butter. Whole butter will be likely to burn and won't get the potatoes as crispy. I like the olive oil flavor. While they're going, we can slice our onion greens nice and thin. If you want that sexy diagonal cut, you have to get it started, which results in some waste, so flip these around. Keep the waste up here where the tops are too dry and fibrous to eat anyway. That's no skin off our backs. Reason 35 why I love green onions is they're a 2-for-1 deal. You get your onion at the white end and you get your fresh herb at the green end. We'll scatter those raw on the plates. Back at the potatoes, people often put paprika and garlic powder and such in these. Just be careful because those kinds of spices burn really easily at these temperatures. When they're brown to my liking, I will turn off the heat and then dump in my veg to warm up. Now that it's safer, I'll put in my spices. I'm using harissa powder, the dry version of the traditional North African chili garlic paste, super tasty with the potatoes. Will moisture in the vegetables make the fries a little less crispy? Yeah, a bit. If you want really crisp home fries, don't do vegetables with them. But for the flavor and the nutrition, I'm happy to make that trade-off. On this goes to my plates, way too hot to eat right now, which is perfect because we still need to cook our eggs. A little oil just to be super duper safe, that was too much. Crack in the eggs, and my heat is still off. There's the perfect amount of residual heat in the pan and the burner to cook these eggs. If you're using a cheaper, thinner pan or a gas burner, you might have to turn the heat back on low. Just keep the eggs bubbling gently. And for an over-easy egg, this is the sign I look for. See how the white has two distinct regions? There's the flat outer skirt, and then there's another layer of white up above it around the yolk. When I see that upper layer just starting to go opaque, the egg is usually solid enough to flip safely. You just gotta do it swiftly and with some confidence, even if you have to fake your confidence. For over-easy eggs, they need like 30 seconds max on the flip side. I finally had to move some lights and such for this last shot, so my eggs were on the flip side for maybe a minute, and they came out more like over medium. Yolk is still runny, but not quite as runny as I'd like. It's fine. If you want the yolk firm, just cook it until it feels firm when you poke it. Easy. I think this meal costs like $2 or $3 a plate in terms of ingredients, and it's fit for a king. Make Brinner happen at your house tonight.